as it comes to this podcast, like I've said, change some stuff up. I'm probably gonna be doing this solo, at least for the time being. Just me and Noah's talked, and kind of with his busy schedule and how I kind of want this podcast to go, and just certain things, it was hard to kind of make it line up and work when we both kind of had different visions for this podcast. I think Noah's gonna definitely be on every so often, just for fun, and we're probably gonna. This is definitely gonna be like laid back episodes where you just kind of bullshit and stuff. Um, so I'm kind of on it on my own for the time being. I would possibly have some co-host, but I don't know. It's a challenge. I would like to have more people on in general, but that's something I got to figure out. I would love to kind of put together a studio and have a visual representation, I guess, especially for like YouTube or even on Spotify, because that is a newer thing now that's on there, to have a video portion of it. So if you guys actually want to watch and see reactions or stuff like that, I would like to kind of put together a studio here, probably in the next couple months. If you guys would be interested, let me know if you think that'd be a good idea. I mean, I think it'll be fun, and just having that visual aspect to it just adds to the podcast. It makes it more, what's the word? Not relatable, but it makes you feel like you're there a little better, just because you get to see everything that's happening. And if I actually kind of put together a semi studio where I can have someone else come on and I have another mic, we can record here and do stuff there, and it would be interesting, and I feel like would go pretty smoothly. I mean, it's something I would have to figure out, because there's definitely things involved with that I've never done personally when it comes to setting up camera work and dealing with some of that, and getting another mic and trying to coordinate all that stuff and make it work. But I would figure it out. We'd get it done. I feel like it would be a lot of fun. I already have a few people in mind personally that I would like to come on the podcast eventually, just because I've had some interesting conversations with those people before, and they're quite some characters, and not only that, but interesting stories. And I think it'd just be cool to kind of have anyone on at one point or another. I think it's just kind of fun to change it up a bit, and if I put together a studio, it makes it so much easier, especially with what me and Noah were doing, recording 2,000 miles away and dealing with a 3-hour time difference as well, and trying to figure it all out. Having an actual studio to set up with 2 or 3 people, depending, to record and just have it all right here and there, and everyone has a mic, and stuff like that can make it a little easier. And I feel like a better conversation with whoever's on, 'cause you're right in front of them and you can talk, and it's a more connected form of communication. I feel that would add something to the podcast just a little more. So hopefully that'll come through. And if you guys have suggestions for people to come on, I don't know who you guys would necessarily think to have on, or I'm trying to think who would possibly listen to this that would suggest someone. So not really a question to ask you guys at this point, but I have a few ideas on some people that I would be interested in having on, or recording with. So it'd change it up, and I think it would make it interesting and fun. Some of the people I was thinking was people I've worked with in the past, other podcast hosts, if I could get a hold of some, I think that would be interesting to kind of get their point of view on podcasting and learn about them and how they do stuff, or kind of who they are and stuff like that. I feel would be interesting. I already have at least one podcast in mind to reach out to, and not only that. So with the past week, I haven't also done a lot on our Instagram, so I'm trying to figure that out as well. I guess this podcast is just gonna be like basically a catch up, just hang out podcast. It's not gonna be super long either, so it'll be fairly short. I didn't think last week's was gonna necessarily be as short as it was, but hey, made it quick, bite size. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna start posting more on Instagram. I gotta get that going and figure stuff out, just to get more content out with you guys. Kind of spread the word of the podcast a bit. Try building up a following on there that will hopefully a little bit trickle their way either to the YouTube or to Spotify and listen there and all that kind of stuff. Because every listen, every view, all of it adds up. And I appreciate it. Any like on a Instagram reel or story, or like on one of our videos, on one of the videos for the podcast, is very much appreciated, and it definitely helps us out. Kind of spreads it a little more, and it shows appreciation. And if you guys comment or leave comments on Instagram or YouTube or on Spotify on the poll, it's very, very appreciated. And I love getting feedback from people. So if there's any critiques or ideas, anything like that, or just topics, any questions you have, or I don't know, just situational stuff that you're like, hey, what do you think of this? Do you have any advice? I don't know, anything. I love the I almost said ambiguity, but I don't think that's the right word I'm searching for in my head. But I love being able to kind of work together and get feedback from other people, and kind of try to, I guess, give back or reach out to you guys, and back and forth like that's I love doing that. So if you guys are interested or have something to say or anything along those lines, feel free to ask. But I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about, or what's going on. So yeah, next week, habit is what the topic's gonna be over. I have a decent handful of books that I want to read, and will probably become podcast ideas in some way or another. Between, I got some financial books, I got some books from Toby Robbins, I got I think it's The Iceman. I can't remember the name of the book, but I'm blanking on his name too. That's not good. Man, I got another book that's really cool about kind of fitness and anxiety and dealing with that, and like cold exposure. I'm blanking on the guy's name all of a sudden. Wim Hof. Never mind. That is his name. Wim Hof. Got his book that's I've read a portion of that I need to finish and start doing his technique more, because it is quite amazing, and it's all about bettering yourself and kind of getting yourself out of your comfort zone to better, I guess, make yourself and your mind and your body more abrasive to deal with stress and anxiety, and relieve you of like modern bullshit, I guess. But I have several books that I'm curious to read. I got some stuff on real estate. I got stuff on business. I got a handful of books I would like to read, and then probably talk about at one point or another. But yeah, Wim Hof is pretty awesome. What else has happened this week? I'm trying to think.